All right. We'll start off today with Patrick Stevens.
Hey, Danny, wanted to ask a bit about improvement at the defensive end over the last couple games. Is there a common thread that you see there, and is it something you feel like is indicative of growth and sustainable as you guys move forward here?
Yes, I believe, Patrick. I'm hoping it's indicative of growth and that we can sustain it. We've made sure that, we've gone out and we talk about standing in front of the basketball, contesting shots, and rebounding the basketball. I think we're doing a decent job of staying in front of the ball and contesting. I would like to see our rebounding improve, not giving up as many second chance opportunities as we have. But our first shot defense has been a big improvement across the board for us, and that's something we need to continue to establish and improve upon. But I like the guys' energy level. I like their attention to detail, and they're making multiple efforts on the defensive end, which has given us a chance because you're going to break down, you're going to make mistakes. The guys are flying around and covering for each other, and it's working out for us.
And on another front, Ian Martinez drew to start a few games back, hasn't played the last two. How's he doing at this point? Is that just a matter of coach's decision? And how is he kind of working through things at this stage?
Ian is still on the team. He's still practicing. Just made the decision to shorten the rotation one game. It worked out well for us. I like how guys played, and that's kind of where he's at right now. All the guys that haven't played or are not in the rotation, they know that they have to be ready when their number's called, and that's just the role that they have right now. And I've been there as a player, and I'm not saying it's an easy place to be, but it is what it is. And it's all about team. So whatever's good for the team is good for you as an individual.
Thanks so much.
Jacob Richmond.
Hey, Coach, I know that you guys like to take, every game one game at a time, but can you kind of talk about the role of momentum, coming off 2 wins against tough Big Ten opponents? Obviously, it's another huge matchup. Can you kind of talk about how momentum is played in practicing and getting ready for this game?
Well, you develop your momentum in practice, and then you get a chance to have it recognized and rewarded in games. And we've got some play as of recent that we've done some good things. We've given ourselves a chance to be successful in terms of winning the ball games and getting the outcome that we want. That has to continue in practice day in and day out. And then we have to get to the games, and you have to find a way to give yourself a chance to be successful, right? So we could go into every game, this is the game plan, this is what we want to do. Then all of a sudden, the other coach is going to make some changes. He's going to make some adjustments, and then you have to make some on the fly. So our guys have done a really good job of understanding what we're trying to do when we make our adjustments throughout the course of the ball game and give different looks of going out there and making it work with multiple efforts. And, we talk about energy generating behaviors. That's what we're going to hang our hat on. And our guys have done a tremendous job of creating those energy generating behaviors for our team. But the momentum is created in practice. It's rewarded in the games when you do what you need to do for your team to be successful. And, hopefully for us that continues, but, we need to have another good day of practice going into our next game.
Julian Bassina.
Hey, Coach, can you talk about Eric Ayala's 3-point shot and his sort of willingness to extend it a little bit and what that means for the team as he turns into more of a threat from all areas of the court?
Julian, EA's always been a threat. He's never been bashful shooting the basket. That Rutgers game, it was damn near on the logo when he's basketball. We need Fats to score the basketball. We need Dante to score. We need Hakeem. We need Q. We need Julian. We need everybody to contribute in some way, shape, or form. And EA is playing at a high clip. He's making a big time number of threes. He's making tough threes. He's making challenge threes. That speaks to his confidence level and the work that he puts in and the trust that he has in his skill set and the belief and trust that we have in him as well. So we know there are going to be some shots that he takes that are questionable, but he's going to take those sometimes because he's probably reeled off 3 or 4. And there's nothing wrong giving now and then with a heat check when you got it going. And like I said, he's not bashful. We don't want him to be bashful. We want him to stay aggressive and confident and score the basketball for us along with other things.
Marcus Washington.
Hey, Coach, a lot of coaches kind of like the buzzword. It seems like it's being connected. And just over the last few games, you guys have really, really looked connected. Was there a particular watershed moment, a particular game that got you connected, or it's just over time it has just developed?
Marcus, I think it's mostly over time it's developed. Most teams that I've ever been a part of, anytime you go through any adversity, that's when you get a little bit closer. That's when you become a closer net team, if you will, where you depend on your teammates a little bit more. We hit our adversity early on with Coach Terps making a decision to step down, and we navigate that. We hit a rough patch with not winning games, but our guys continue to come into practice and work and have a good attitude and good mentality about what we could still accomplish. And these guys have turned it around in terms of going out on the court and knowing what we need to do to give ourselves a chance to win. And that's to play with multiple efforts. That's to go out there and chase energy generating behaviors and to share the basketball and get paint touches. So those things right there give us a chance to be successful. Now we have to finish in regards of executing throughout the course of the ball game to give ourselves a chance to win games. But our guys go into every game understanding that if we bring those intangibles, we'll have a chance.
And just what you reviewing and getting ready for tomorrow's game, what was something that maybe jumped out on film when you were looking at Indiana that kind of jumped out about the things that they do well?
They do a lot of things well. You know, I've known Coach Woody for a long time, watched him as a player when I was younger. And, you know, we go back a long ways, whether it's Coach Brown, my college coach, and someone he's very comfortable and familiar with, or my father. So, you know, this team is, they're hard-nosed, they're tough. They get the ball inside to the two big guys who are very dominant and having a great year. To me, Xavier Johnson is the key to this team from the standpoint the ball is in his hands. He is a one-man fast break when he gets a chance to get downhill. So they've got really good shooters. We talk about Parker and Kopp on the wing. So this is a very balanced basketball team that plays with a great deal of physicality because of their athleticism.
Thanks, Coach.
Josh Banner.
Hey, Coach. We're coming off of what might be probably the best collaborative effort between Fats and Ayala, at least one of them. Can you talk a little bit about just what they bring to the team through their leadership and just through their overall ability to, just shoot high shot, efficient shots, and their leadership and what they mean to the team?
Sure. Eric and Fats are two of our veterans. Those guys have quite a bit of experience under their belt. Those guys are, you know, depending on what records you look at, they're climbing the charts. You know, they've scored a lot of points and they've had a lot of success and they have a lot of confidence, but they've also put in the work. We need those guys to continue to be aggressive, not only scoring the basketball, but also facilitating. But their leadership, their understanding, their experience is something that we depend on throughout the course of the ball game. Eric plays point guard some, Fats plays it a lot. The ball is in those guys' hands and they're making really good decisions as to when to attack, when to go score, but also facilitate. So, you know, I want those guys to always play aggressively and I always want them to be confident, but they also know that they have to pick and choose because they have to get their teammates involved. And I think they've got a good mix of that going right now. And then also those guys they're realistic with one another. You know, there have been quite a few games that we've been in that EA has it going and Fats is like, I got to get it to EA more. And vice versa. When Fats had it going the other night, EA was like, we got to get Fats more touches. So those guys understand what we're trying to accomplish and understand the flow of the game.
Believe Kareem.
Coach, hope you're well. Indiana isn't the best on the road as per their record. They're 1-4. How crucial is it for, the fans to come out and to show that support, on your earlier point, building that momentum to translate to success on the court?
Well, when I grew up, I spent most of my childhood in North Carolina. So Maryland was in the ACC. And I remember vividly watching games in Cole Fieldhouse games. I was not in the building, but watching them. And the crowd was electric. The fans were so excited to be a part of the game. And, whenever you play at home, that is certainly something that you want, you hope for, and you like to expect to a certain extent because of the energy that the fans can generate. And we certainly need all the energy that we can get. Our guys are going out, they're playing really hard, they're competing at a high level, and we're really close to continuing our trajectory of moving in the direction that we're going off of our last couple wins. And so anytime that we can have the home court six man behind us, have that energy and juice of the crowd. It just elevates our play, and it's something that we always love to have happen.
All right, last question for Coach today. We'll go back to Jacob Richmond.
A quick question on Julian. Those first couple of conference games, he fouled out. He's having just a little bit of trouble. Obviously Big Ten has a lot of really good big men, but these past couple of games, he's been more available for you guys. Going into a matchup like Indiana, can you just talk about what it does for your team, assuming that he's able to stay in the game for a little bit longer?
Julian's going to play. There's no question about that. He's earned that right, and he's still adjusting to the conference play. He walks out and the first game in conference play, it's Murray at Iowa, right? Which is no easy task. I'm sorry, we played Northwestern, so it was Pete Nance actually, right? And then it comes back, it's Murray. You know what I mean? And then you go out and it's Kofi. So he's got a chance to play up against some really talented basketball players. Julian is continuing to get better. His numbers probably haven't taken off the way they possibly could, but his impact on the game was always there. He's our best offensive rebounder, which makes him one of our better offensive deep rebounders, period. He does a tremendous job of knocking down free throws when he gets that opportunity. He's capable of stepping out on the floor and knocking down three-pointers. He's a really good passer off of dribble handoffs and things of that nature. And so he's just continuing to get better. And each game that he plays, his confidence level goes up and his understanding of Big Ten basketball goes up. So, for me, Julian is not somebody that we worry about as a staff because we know the work that he puts in. And we trust the work that he puts in, and he's a really smart basketball player and young man, and he'll start figuring things out as we go.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
You guys want to hang